Let's get started with a quick warm-up. Mark, when you step into a museum, what's the first thing you usually notice?
Oh, the first thing that jumps out is always the word museum itself. It's usually right above the doors, and it just sets the whole mood for exploring. Then I spot statues and artifacts right at the entrance.
Exactly. Those are some of our key words for today. Museum, statue, artifact. And then there's that feeling of wanting to look around, to see and walk through the different rooms.
Totally. And it's funny how even the simple words like look and see suddenly become important. You hear them all the time from guides or friends. Look over here. Or, did you see that?
Absolutely simple words, but so useful. Before we dive in deeper, let's try repeating a few of those together. Ready?
Let's do it. I'll say them right after you.
So, as we walk into the first hall, imagine you see a tall, white marble statue. What's your first reaction?
Honestly, I'm always a little in awe. Marble statues feel so old and important. My eyes go straight to the sign nearby. I'm instantly curious about the name and the year.
Right? Reading those little signs is like a mini treasure hunt. Sometimes the guide tells a story, and it's almost like the statue comes alive while you listen.
And you have to listen carefully, especially when the guide speaks slowly. I like repeating the special words in my head, marble, tall, white, story, to help me remember.
That actually reminds me, practice really makes a difference. Saying the words aloud, even quietly, helps them stick. Let's try statue, tall, marble, and year together. Moving on, picture entering a small, quiet room. The walls have old paintings, and there's a tiny artifact behind glass. What do you usually notice first?
The quiet always hits me. It almost feels like you have to whisper. My eye usually lands on that little artifact behind glass, especially if it has a label with a name and a date.
I'm the same way, and I always want to know more. Who made it? How old is it? Sometimes I forget, but asking the guide or reading the label helps.
Yeah, those short questions come in handy. Who made this? Or how old? Even if you only know a few words, you can always ask and learn.
Exactly. And if you're ever unsure, just say what you see. Stone, heavy, glass. That's all you need to start a conversation in a museum. Let's keep moving now. We're in a giant hall packed with statues of all sizes. Some are bronze, some are new, some are old. What stands out to you most?
It's got to be the variety. I love how you can see tiny figures right next to huge leaders cast in bronze, and each one seems to have a little plaque with a story.
Those plaques are underrated. Even if they're just a few lines, they can tell you why that statue is special or who it shows.
One time, I found a statue of a kind leader, and the plaque said he helped build the city. That connection stuck with me all day.
Stories like that make the museum real. And reading those words, bronze, leader, story, helps you remember them long after you leave. Funny how, after statues, you always find a glass case full of little artifacts, some round, some sharp, some smooth. What does the word ancient mean to you in that setting?
Honestly, ancient makes me think of something really old, like from a totally different world. Seeing a small tool or a coin labeled ancient just makes me wonder who held it.
Exactly. It's like holding a piece of history, even if it's just with your eyes. And repeating ancient or long time ago helps link the word to the feeling.
I try saying those words as I look: smooth, flat, sharp, and then ancient. It's a way to really connect to what I'm seeing.
After all that walking, I love stepping into a quiet garden with statues and flowers. There's something peaceful about it, don't you think?
Totally. The quiet, the sun, maybe a little breeze. It's a great spot to stop and listen to a short story from the guide or just read a name on a statue.
And then sometimes, you'll find a special room with a big old map and some really worn tools. The map shows a country or a route people traveled long ago.
Those maps are so cool, sometimes you can trace a route with your finger and imagine the journey. The old tools nearby make you think about all the work people did.
After exploring, it's fun to switch things up with a quick game. What's your favorite way to practice these new words?
I love when someone says a word and I try to give the meaning like statue or curator. It feels like a puzzle and it helps me remember faster.
That's a great trick. And repeating the words sometimes, even 3 times, really makes them stick. It's also a nice way to end a museum trip.
Plus, before leaving, I always check the shop for a little book or a card as a souvenir. Makes the visit last a bit longer, you know?
Love that. So, just to wrap up, keep practicing, keep asking questions, and try new words every time you visit. Thanks for joining us. See you at the next museum adventure.